Welcome back, everybody. It's Mrs. Jamalski with another read aloud for you. This book was chosen by one of my first grade friends. She wanted me to read this to you. It's called When I Grow Up by Al Yankovic, illustrations by Wes Hargis. Have you ever thought about what you might want to be when you grow up? In this story, we're going to hear lots of interesting things to be when you grow up. So see if maybe Billy can give you some different ideas. Here's all of Billy's pictures. I waited so long for the hours to pass, but soon it was noon there in Miss Krupp's class. And Thursday at noon, as I'm sure you well know, is the time of the week when we do show and tell. And this week, the subject so special to me was when I grow up, what am I gonna be? That's something I'd really been thinking about, and I just couldn't wait to let all those thoughts out. So when Mrs. Krupp said, "Who's ready to share?" you can guess who was there with his hand in the air. I raised both my hands just as high as they'd go, and I bounced up and down, and then, what do you know? Well, Mrs. Krupp picked me, yes, me, to go first. Oh, I was so happy I thought I would burst. I proudly stood up and began my oration concerning my choice for a future vocation. Esteemed friends and colleagues, and dear Mrs. Krupp, I know what I'm gonna be when I grow up. Why, I'll be the greatest chef you've ever seen. The world will go crazy for my haute cuisine. I'll tantalize taste buds with my rigatoni, sautéed with black truffles and pickled bologna, surrounded by kumquats and candied pig's feet, topped with shrimp-flavored lollipops. Bon appetit! My walls will be filled with awards that I've gotten for toast on a stick and Twinkies au gratin. My kitchen will be the most famous in France, so make reservation 12 years in advance. There's no doubt about it. I'm certain, you see, a world-renowned chef is what I'm gonna be. That's very nice, Billy, sweet Miss Krupp said. Who wants to be next? Maybe Susie or Fred? Hold on! Hold the phone now. I haven't departed. Hang on to your seats, 'cause I'm just getting started. See, maybe instead I could be a snail trainer. Man, that would be awesome. Why, that's a no-brainer. I'll teach all my snails to do really neat tricks. They'll play dead, roll over, even fetch sticks. Of course, all the sticks will come back 2 years later. But working with snails, I mean, what could be greater? They'll do any stunt that I like. Holy moly, I'll train them to pedal a bike real slowly. Then jump, ooze, through a huge ring of fire and crawl at a snail's pace across a high wire. Then finish by writing my name with their trails. That's right, I'll be Billy, the master of snails. Do you want to be a snail trainer? That's a new one. Or else maybe I'll be a lathe operator. You see that? Who makes the hydraulic torque wrench calibrator, which fine-tunes the wrench that's specifically made to retighten the nuts on the lateral blade that's directly beneath the main radial sockets inside cooling systems on X-14 rockets. And since this profession's as cool as can be, well, who would be better to do it than me? Say, here's an idea. Perhaps just for laughs, I might make my living by milking giraffes. It's oh so cliche to get milk from a cow, and I bet all those cows need a break anyhow. Imagine me milking way up in the air. I'd use a tall ladder instead of a chair. What? Milking giraffes? Mrs. Krupp said. Oh, please. I countered. How else will we make giraffe cheese. Now don't interrupt me, I'm not really through yet. There's still lots of stuff that I'm planning to do yet. 'Cause maybe I'll be a gorilla masseuse. Would you want to give gorilla massages? That would be silly. Or an artist who sculpts out of chocolate mousse. Or a rodeo clown, or a movie director, or big sumo wrestler, or hedge fund investor, or smelly pit sniffing deodorant tester, or maybe professional pickle inspector. Or I'll be an expert in nuclear fission, or else a foot model, or friendly mortician, or dinosaur dusting museum curator, or TV repairman, or sidewalk sign waver, or part-time assistant tarantula shaver. And that's about when Mrs. Krupp said, "Now, Billy, please make up your mind. This is getting quite silly. Which one of these things are you going to choose?" I shuffled around and looked at my shoes. And finally, Billy said, "My great-grandfather Bob's been a whole lot of things, had a whole lot of jobs. A butcher, a barber, a bellman, a bouncer, a telephone psychic, and bingo announcer. And you know what? He just turned 103, and he's still not quite sure what he wants to be. See, I'm only 8 now, so frankly, I'm hoping you'll cut me some slack if I leave my options open. Let's just wait and find out what my future brings. Hey, I might have time to do all of those things." And then as the bell rang and we all went to lunch, and as I was sipping my pineapple punch, I pondered professions that I'd like to enter, like brave firefighter or crazy inventor. There he is eating his lunch, drawing up some of his ideas. Or maybe, just maybe, when I grow up, I can be a great teacher like dear Mrs. Krupp. And he made her a picture. Teacher Billy for Mrs. Krupp. Love, Billy. And there he is eating his lunch at the museum. So did Billy give you any new ideas? Anything that maybe you haven't thought of before? And who knows, there could even be jobs out there right now that aren't even invented yet. And you might be one of those ones to be lucky enough to have one. So let me know what your favorite job in here is and what you might want to be when you grow up. Bye everybody, have a good day.